So to answer your question, the median household is like $275,000. So your house would go up $75 a year.
No, I understand that.
That's
It was
$6 a
$75
month. I know there's information out there. People are saying that your taxes are getting raised.
Right, they're
32% is false information.
Right.
Your taxes are going up $6 a month for this tax. That's mandated. This is mandated by the state that we do this, and then we fund it for our policemen.
Correct, because we mismanaged the pension fund the years previous. We didn't have enough money in there, right?
No, it all depends on the stocks. Like I said, let Waterback and you answer your question. Okay. So I guess, is there any other questions?
Yeah.
Otherwise,
So,
if you have any other questions, do we did at 6 o'clock? We weren't here.
yeah, I think a couple comments on that. So, Lauterbach and Haven, we work with about 350 Illinois police and fire pension funds. Average pension fund that we work with is 55% funded. The Village of Norridge pension fund is right about in that ballpark, 56% as of this year. In terms of the increases that we've seen over the past couple of years, the 35% last year and 32% this year, in terms of the increase to the recommended contribution from the village, we'd expect that to stabilize a lot more going forward. As Joanna had mentioned, basically because we've gotten to that recommended contribution levels in levying for the $2.1 million this year, on a going forward basis, generally we're going to expect contributions to increase about 4 to 5% going forward. We kind of have the preliminary numbers for what's going to look like next year, and we're seeing an increase of just over 5%. So those big increases were basically to get from where funding levels were before to where they're at now with our recommended levels. Part of that was due to a takeover from the prior actuary, some updates to assumptions, funding policy as well. So on a going forward basis, basically the bottom line, we're expecting to see 4 to 5% increases in that recommended contribution.
Thank you. Thank you for repeating yourself. The only reason I bring that up is because this is minimal, $75 per year. We have other problems in the village as far as getting our infrastructure going, and we bought the property by Divine Savior, and I just foresee $75 here, $75 there, $100 there, while we're buying properties that we can't use and plowing the church with our public servants.
Yeah, to answer your question, so you paid 0 to the Village of Norridge.
I'm sorry?
You paid 0% to the Village of Norridge.
Right.
You don't pay nothing to the Village of Norridge. The only thing you're paying for is the pension fund. So right now, we, as
Correct.
a board, don't see any, I know what you're saying, we don't see any increases or foresee any increases for what you're saying as far as, part of our infrastructure, our water bills and everything, we have money in there for that, the things that you're asking about.
Okay.
So we're looking, as a board, that's what we do. Did that answer your question?
Yes, very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to make a correction to Brian. It's over 10 years ago, the church parking lot does not allow the residents to park there because we all got notes slapped on our cars that said this is private parking. And you know what? Until I complained to Mayor Fields and a bunch of us came in, they were plowing the church parking lot, which I don't care.
Yeah.
They never plowed our alleys. And I came in and said, I pay taxes, they don't. And then after that, he plowed our alleys, which I'm very grateful for. But they don't allow us to park there. And I hope now that we own that piece of property, other than your cars in the back, they don't let any of the residents park there with snow. There was one year I had 3 cars, 2 on the street. We all parked in there and we all got notes left on our windshields saying this is private property, you can't park here.
Okay. Well, it's good to know. So what we'll do is we'll talk to
Right.
Rich and we'll get back to you.
I mean,
about
now
that.
I don't care because I'm the only car there.
Yeah.
So it's the rest of the neighbors because our street is always full of cars.
Yeah, we'll talk to the church
Just
and
a
get back to you.
correction.
All right. Any other questions?
My name is Maria Lala, 4336 North Oquito.
If you could follow the sheet after.
Sure.
Okay.
2 years ago, I want to say, I came to the village board meeting complaining about my street. Ever since, the sports, whatever, the health club, everything was built up. My street just became, it's unbelievable living on that street. I've spoken to the chief of police. I know they did a study, we got a letter about 2 years ago, about a $35,000 study that you guys were going to do on our street. Nothing was done. We haven't heard anything. I've spoken to Shmura twice about that. He said, we did spend the money. I'm
I don't know,
sorry,
Stephanie, can you give your address?
Is it Okido?
4336 North Okido. So what you have is you have people just flying down those streets. Nobody stops. We have kids on that street. I have complained to Shmura I don't know how many times. He's made promises to people on my street when it was voting for him to become mayor. And he said he would do something for our street just so he can put his nice signs up on their houses. Now, in return, I told him, since you haven't done nothing for my street, I will put Tom Benigno, and I did vote for him. You guys haven't done anything on the street. The chief of police, I spoke to him at the carnival. He said he was going to get a cop out there. He asked me what time. It's busy. I said 5 o'clock. I've never seen a cop. I even see cops going through that stop sign. I stand in front of my window just to look, to take videos. Nobody does anything about that street. You guys can make a ton of money by giving tickets out there. But nobody does anything. In the summer, we have kids riding bikes. Nobody cares. We used to call the village. We used to complain. You guys would send a cop out. They'd give a ticket, and they disappear. Now, whatever happened with the study?
We're still implementing some of the recommendations. Some of the recommendations were having stop signs at all the corners the way we have. That was one of the...
Which we do have stop signs.
Which we do have. Some
Nobody stops.
I can't control that, or we can't control that, or at least I can't control that.
But the police can control it. But you never see a cop. Unless I call and you give the one ticket just to shut me up, and that's it. I mean, I just don't get it. So I've always said, when I pull up in my minivan and somebody hits me, you guys will hear it. Because nobody cares about that street. Now you're going to build more stores at the mall. It's going to get worse. So, I don't know. All I heard from Shura was, we did spend the money, we're going to do something about it. Well, 2 years later, we still haven't done anything about it. So, I don't feel like it's a waste. This is why I'm hoping to move like everybody else says. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, committee reports, finance, license, contracts. Trustee Gregorio?
Thank you, Mr. President. Are there any questions or modification to my agenda? Hearing none, I'd like to make a motion to accept my consent agenda A through S as presented. Second.
Motion by trustee Gregorio, second by trustee Parsi. Roll call. 6-0, motion carried.
That is all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you, trustee Gregorio. Law, ordinance, and economic development, trustee Fiala.
Thank you, Mr. President. So I have nothing under discussion. In my consent agenda, I will be making 3 separate motions. My first motion, I am moving to approve items A through E. Are there any questions as to their content?
Mr. Bialik, I'll be abstaining from A through F.
Okay. So, hearing no questions, I move to approve items A through E. As
Second.
noted.
Okay, motion by trustee Bialik, second by trustee Gregorio. Motion. Motion carries 5-0.
Okay. In my second motion, I would like to move to approve item F. Are there any questions as to the content of item F? Hearing none, I move to approve item F as noted.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by trustee Bialik, second by trustee Larson. Roll call. 5-0, motion carries.
Okay. For item G, I move to adopt and approve ordinance number 1978-19, an ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2019 and ending April 30th, 2020. An ordinance for the levy of a real estate tax for the police pension fund. The president and clerk to be authorized to sign, and the clerk to be directed to publish in pamphlet form, copy to be attached and made part of the record hereof. Do I have any questions as to the content of that item? Hearing none, I move to approve item G.
Second.
Okay, motion by trustee Bialik, second by trustee Runstead. Need roll call? 6-0, motion carries. Thank you, trustee Miller. Water, cell phones, cell sites, electrical aggregation, trustee Runstead.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have nothing under discussion, and on the consent agenda, if there's no questions, I'd like to make a motion to approve A through D.
Okay, motion. Wait, motion by trustee Ronstadt, second by Ursula. Kucharski. Roll call. 6-0, motion carries. Police, trustee Kucharski.
Yes. I have nothing in discussion. If there are no questions, I'd like to, on my consent agenda, I'd like to make a motion to approve A through E. Second.
Motion by trustee Kucharski, second by trustee Gregorio. Roll call. 6-0, motion carries. Village properties, HR insurance, village bus service, trustee Gelsomino.
Just under discussion, we're currently reviewing all the insurances for the village. We should have an answer for the board by the next board meeting, hopefully. Under consent agenda, any questions? Now I'd like to make a motion to accept.
I'll second it.
Motion by trustee Gelsomino, second by trustee Bialik. Roll call. 6-0, motion carries. Public Works, trustee Larson.
Under discussion, item A, a reminder, we are still working on changes to the snow route parking rules that will go into effect for the 2020-2021 winter season. I'm working with Public Works to discuss various options to improve not only the efficiency, but more importantly, the safety to the residents, Public Works crews, and the general public. If there's no questions pertaining to my discussion item, that is all I have, Mr. President.
Okay. Motion by trustee Larson.
I'll second.
There's nothing to go on. I have no consent agenda.
Okay, general, clerk Budnick.
New announcements. There will be only one more regular board meeting, Wednesday, December 11th. That's for the remaining 2019 year. January 2020, we resume regular board meetings on the fourth Wednesday of each month. So the next one will be the second Wednesday, and then we'll start off again in January with the fourth Wednesday. Harwood Heights and Norridge Little League registration will open on December 2nd. Information as to where you can go for registration is listed in the agendas. The Ridgewood Foundation is hosting their 8th annual wine tasting on Thursday, December 5th at 6 p.m. at Cucina Biagio in Harwood Heights. Norridge, Village of Norridge and the Norridge Police Station are drop-off facilities for the 2019 Marine Corps Toy for Tots campaign and for the Salvation Army's holiday food drive. You could drop off new unwrapped toys or non-perishable food items at Village Hall or the Police Department during normal business hours. The 7th annual Village of Norridge Holiday Open House and Tree Lighting will take place Saturday, November 30th from 4:30 to 6 p.m. All are invited to meet Santa, take pictures. Encourage attendees to bring any items for the Salvation Army and the Toys for Tots drive. November 16th, Saturday, Salvation Army night at Ridgewood High School for the Parents Club Bingo. Doors open at 5, bingo starts at 6. Here too, we ask that you bring any non-perishable food or toiletry items to receive a free bingo card. And the last day for yard waste pickup is going to be Saturday, November 30th. Please make sure that you dispose of your yard waste and or leaves during the week of the 25th on your regular garbage day. And that is all.
Thanks, clerk Budnick. Consideration be given to the motion that there be no further business. Need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by trustee Gelsomino, second by trustee Gregorio. Roll call. 6-0, motion carries.